EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for January 14th, 2022. Today's video forecast is going to go through this entire week, but we're going to concentrate on the winter storm that is approaching the region. I do have extremely high confidence we're going to get hit by it. It's just now a matter of what we're going to get. There's a pretty good idea on track as well on several models that I'm going to show you here in this video. This is going to start off with the European model. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the video, please do that. I mentioned that in yesterday's video that our goal was to get to 10,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of the winter, and well, we went from 8,400 to 9,000 in one day yesterday, so I think we're going to be good. But continue to do that if you have not done so. Hit the subscribe button. You'll get notifications of when we go live, especially, and I plan to do that once or twice with this system, probably Saturday night and again on Sunday night. So as the system is moving in. So that's the live streaming we do. So today we're going to start off with this system. Now this has been, we've been going back and forth with this for the last couple of days and stressing that it is not possible to release a snow map yet because there's so much variability, and those that are doing that might have egg on their face because there's some solutions here that came in this evening that are not very good if you're a snow lover. But I'm not here to pop anybody's balloon. I'm just calling it like I see it, and we'll take it through the video here, and I'll show you why I think this is going to be going a certain way. So this is an offshore low today. We're going to have any morning clouds in the eastern areas giving way to sun. It will become breezy as an Arctic front moves through, and so these highs today are going to be earlier in the day. The 34 is far northwestern areas, like maybe Williamsport up in that area. 46 will be down by the Philadelphia metro because you're on the opposite side of the front and have time to warm ahead of it before the Arctic front moves through. And when it does, it becomes very breezy. Temperatures fall, and wind gusts today will be generally 15 to 25. You could have some peak gusts that are 30 to 35 as well, and that's going to go right through the evening hours. Okay, so that's all cold air advection related as this high pressure starts to move in from the north. And then we move ahead to Saturday. We are partly to mostly cloudy, but very cold. 12 to 22 is a spread. Most of you are going to be in the teens. 12 to 22 is the correct numbers here. That is the spread from northwest to southeast for highs on Saturday. Overnight tonight and Saturday night, you're going to have some single-digit lows, okay? I think Saturday night's going to be the colder of the two nights. You're going to have temperatures in the lower single digits in a lot of places. Not going to be very good time to be outside, certainly. So let's get ahead to the next system. Now, this is going to be on Sunday evening. This is going to come in, and it's going to be going through the overnight and into Monday morning. That's your time frame. We'll get more specific time frames by county in the text alerts that we send out. We are going to send first text alerts today. They're going to be kind of broad. Probably not doing an official map with amounts and exact ranges of snow probably until Saturday. We might do a probability-based map today. We'll see how things go. But anyway, here's Saturday, and this system moves across the deep south. Now, when I stop it down here in the deep south, this is overnight Saturday night. And I'm going to stop and do a little drawing here. And I'm just not going to stop my video here this time because I went back to the Epic Pen here to do the drawing. So everything's kind of taking this low track. Oops, let me give myself a little room here on the mouse drawer here. It takes a path kind of like this, right? And then you're seeing it go back to the west and northwest a little bit and then head up like this, okay? So it's not exactly a cutter across the Appalachians. Now it's showing a path that's going to be pulled back a little bit. And the reason it's doing that is once it gets up to right about here, the trough associated with this is going to turn negative. You're going to have a negative trough here. So this pulls this back to the west right here by the trough going negative. That's what it's doing. Some people I've been seeing comments about, well, this looks like a really goofy solution. It's got to be wrong. Well, it's not wrong. It's just wave physics. That's what this is. Okay, so this is exactly the right idea that it would take that path. But everything is taking that general path where from here, North Carolina goes back at least a little bit and then comes out and goes over eastern Pennsylvania, over New York City, up in this direction like this. That is generally the path that I'm going to show you on every single model here. They're all doing the same thing, all of them. They're just handling precipitation types differently. Okay, so how do I get rid of this? There we go. Okay, so we'll go back to the cursor here so I can move this forward. This is Saturday evening. As I move this forward, you can see snow, sleet, freezing rain across the deep south. This is the European model I'm showing you first, by the way. And it does start off as rain in South Jersey, southern Delaware, right? In the interior, it is snow. You get a pretty good thump of snow here on the European model. And as this low pressure moves up to south, just near the Mason-Dixon line, south central PA, it moves northeast. See that? It jumps up here over eastern Pennsylvania. That's probably the right idea. That's pretty much consistent with everything I'm going to show you. But by doing that, south of that low pressure and southeast of that low pressure invites warm air into the situation. This changes things over to sleet. It has very little sleet, freezing rain, oddly, but it does change over to rain in our southern area, south of I-78, and then this lifts off to the north, and the precipitation ends, and you get a dry slot in here as it moves off to the northeast. You have a big comma head here. This looks like a big comma, right? So the big comma head, big cold conveyor belt going up across upstate New York, Finger Lakes, Syracuse, Buffalo, those places. So they'll get a decent amount of snow in western Pennsylvania, and then as this comma head lives off to the north, you're going to have a cold conveyor belt that's going to dump some pretty good rates of snow up in there. Down in our area, we're going to get that thump in the beginning, it looks like. But how long does that last before we change over? That's the question, okay? And this continues off to the north and east. And then we are cold on Tuesday. We moderate a little bit on Wednesday because we have another cold front moving at us. Just a little bit of a moderation back to near average, so upper 30s to near 40, right? And then we get this this cold front move through on Wednesday night. And behind this, you have some serious cold that's going to last for a long time. So we're going to have some Arctic air come in. It's not just going to last a day or two. This is going to be a 9 or 10 day deal. So I did the long range last night, updated a day early because I knew I wouldn't have time today to do the long range like I normally do every Friday morning. I just won't have time. Too many conference calls, to model analysis in the forum, preparing for the winter storm, and there's just too much to do. So I did it last night, and I had that period between the 20th and 29th well below average, okay? And it's going to be cold for a long time, I think, for that entire period. So just put that in the back of your mind for now because it's coming. Let's look at some other models here. This is the GFS that ran this evening. This is the latest overnight run. And it's doing the same thing. Comes over to North Carolina, cuts back, and then heads northeast and ends up here in southern New England. But during this process, it has snow on the front end, but now it's starting to introduce some sleet, freezing rain into the idea, which it didn't before. Okay, now it's starting to show that mixed precipitation, and then it's showing rain here south of I-78. Okay, so it's got the same general idea as the European model. It's just handling the precipitation types differently. The NAM that came in this evening was a train wreck for snow lovers because it showed this is a mesoscale model that can identify different precipitation types a little bit better. Now, the caveat to this is this the NAM at max range. So it doesn't mean it's going to be exactly right, but it's giving you the idea here that you have a brief snow at the onset, then it goes over to an extended period of frozen precipitation, sleet, freezing rain, and then rain, again, south of I-78, maybe getting up to Lehigh Valley here with the rain, and then before that system pulls away, and then you might get some backside flurries or something on Monday after that pulls away. But it's the same track, goes to south northern Maryland, south central PA, and then goes northeast from there, ends up near New York City, okay? So the big cities, Philadelphia, New York, don't expect much. Maybe a little bit of snow initially, but it's going to be primarily, as you're going to go over to rain there eventually. But you might have some sleet, freezing rain before that happens. These are all the finely tuned details we have to narrow down. But in this scenario on the NAM, you're not getting a big snowfall even in the interior, all right? So that is a possibility. So we're going to continue to weigh these options, and but this being a mesoscale model is scary. Because it shows the precipitation types a little differently. And I move this over to a precipitation type radar just to give you an idea. You can see that it starts off as snow. Here's your snow. Now, South Jersey, Delaware, it doesn't. It's rain, right? But it's snow initially in the interior for about 3 hours or so, and then it goes right over to sleet and then freezing rain, okay? And then it ends on Monday morning, maybe as rain, going all the way up to the southern Poconos even, okay? So it doesn't have a whole ton of snow here. Even in the interior, you got a couple hours there, 3-4 hours of snow, and then it goes over to sleet, freezing rain. So that's a possibility we can't dismiss, okay? Now, the reason why it's doing this, going out to the expanded upper level map, is because this is looking at today. We have this system offshore. Here's our storm right here, okay? Here's a big high pressure that's sitting over southern Canada, or in central Canada, south central Canada. This is are going to be our antecedent high that is going to give us a cold air damage signature at the surface and keep it cold enough that this high being over the top like it is right here, this is over the top as the storm's making the turn, but this is going to start to retreat to the east, okay? If it stayed in place here, we'd be golden, all right? You'd hold on to snow longer, or at least frozen precipitation longer. This is what's responsible for keeping the precipitation frozen longer, okay? But watch what it does in subsequent frames as this low comes up the coast. Look where it goes. It goes to the northeast of the system. Well, in this situation, that's not good because now you have a low pressure with you have an onshore fetch like this, high pressure, clockwise rotation around that. You're bringing in southeasterly wind flow into this system. So you're getting your mid-levels warming, and that's what's changing you over from snow to sleet and freezing rain. And then depending on the surface temperature, that might eventually go to rain as it warms up on Monday morning, okay, before it ends. So that's a distinct possibility that's going to happen. They all have this synoptically shown to do this. Just be prepared. We're not going to get a tremendous amount of snow out of this, especially if you further southeast you go. You're down to I-95 and those areas, forget it, okay? I just don't see it. And I don't see this tracking offshore anymore. This is not, we allow that to be a possibility, but I just don't see that happening. One other thing I want to mention with this system is you're going to have on Monday overnight, as we get into late evening and overnight, you have the winds pick up. You have a pressure gradient involved with this, with a very strong low pressure sitting over northern Maryland at this point, and that high pressure off to the northeast. That's creating a pressure gradient between the two. And you're going to have some wind gusts here that are 40, 45 miles per hour at times that is going to go past midnight into early Monday morning. That's looking like a big deal. We have some energy clients, Pennsylvania energy clients that we service, and we give weather consultation services for. And this is going to be a big topic of discussion today, is power outages. So this will be definitely be a concern, especially if we get some icing involved here, and then you're going to bring these winds in at 40 to 45 miles per hour. That could create some issues here on Sunday night, overnight into early Monday morning. So we'll keep an eye on that. We're going to keep an eye on all this stuff here. I don't want to give any definitive answers yet of what exactly everything's going to be in everybody's backyard, but it does look like a snow to sleet to freezing rain transition, and it might get pretty far in the interior if the name is correct, and it's something we're going to be watching over the next 24 hours before we're able to issue an actual map that has this breakdown, okay? Those of you that saw snow maps with these incredible amounts of snow that people released 2 days and 3 days early, they're going to have egg on their face with this one, I think, and it's best that we just waited and to see how this evolved until we were certain what it was going to do. It is going to be a big, impactful storm, just might not be in the same way that you might have thought, okay? That's a possibility. I think the sleet and freezing rain is a big part of this, and we're going to have this all broken down once we know for sure what areas are getting what, okay? That's what we do. We don't issue snow maps way too early, and then we have to sit there and backtrack and retract and all that stuff. It's not worth it, okay? We knew a storm was coming. We were confident in that. Now we're getting to the breakdown of precipitation types, which is going to be the next challenge, and we'll have more information on that, when we release the maps and the discussion of weather alerts. So when we have that, I'll give that to you. I'll probably have another video on Saturday morning before we issue any public maps for that, but we are going to send text alerts if you have the My Pocket Meteorologist alerts. If you do not have them yet, here's the link to sign up for those. We'll be sending those this afternoon after all the 12Z model runs go, so probably between 2:30 and 3:30, something like that. We'll send those out. It's going to be a first initial look at the possibilities in those text alerts, kind of vague. Saturday will be more descriptive with exact ranges of snow, ice, and rain. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for January 14th, 2022. Have a great Friday.